Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Still Real to Me. I'm your host, John Kuchar, aka Johnny Fashion. With me, as always, Big Bad Harmon. What's happening, brother?
Just call me Big Perm, man.
Big Perm, buddy. Big Worm, Big Perm.
Big Perm.
You wish you had a perm.
I do, especially on my face.
I know. How is that bear mug of yours looking?
It's growing back out. It's
Good.
Slowly but surely.
Good. I hope so. I hope so. Also in the house tonight, we have the returning Greg Marston, Gregulator. What's going on, dude?
You wanted the best, you got the best.
Nice. Nice.
We couldn't get the best, so we called semi-regular Greg.
Semi-regular Greg.
Oh, regular.
Yeah, what have you been up to, man? Things all good?
Hanging and banging, as I like to say.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
Too sweet.
Nice. Fellas, there's been some crazy wrestling this past week in the world, in the WWE universe, if we're going to call it that. So tonight, we are going to cover all that. We're going to go over a few little recent news things. Nothing too crazy going on. But some returning stars and stuff. Then we're going to just get right into it. We're going to do the new era has begun. We're going to talk Battleground a little bit. We're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk SmackDown. We're going to get... I'm sure everybody's got thoughts on it. I've got tons of thoughts on it. I'm sure both of you do as well, because it's been a very exciting week in the world of wrestling. So we're going to get into that. Before, though, let's hit some plugs. You guys can find the It's the Real to Me podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. You guys can easily just go to smarkandmark.com. That's our main hub. You find us right there. Check out all the columns, everything else. Columns, podcasts, videos, music mashups, all kinds of fun stuff. Speaking of videos, I just did an unboxing video for a new crate service called That Wrestling Crate. My mind was absolutely blown at what I got inside. I'm not going to spoil it. You're going to have to go to my YouTube and check it out. Just search John Kuchar on YouTube. It's me. I don't have a fun, fancy YouTube page or anything because I don't have enough followers. But
boring.
Thanks. Thank you. But anyway, go there and also go to thatwrestlingcrate.com to sign up. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to sign up right after you see unboxing videos, so you're going to want to sign up immediately. So check that out. Also, check out our good buddies over at Main Event Madness. They air every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They're talking Ring of Honor, WWE, Global Force. They're all over the place. Mainstream, indies, all of it. You can check them out on Twitter at JohnMEM Radio. You can also find them. Oh boy, where can we find these guys? We're gonna find them at blogtalkradio.com/maineventmadness. That's going to be their live site, and then you can catch the replays on wrestling-news.net. Check them out there. They got all kinds of fun stuff there. So, fellas, recent news. Brock Lesnar. We've kind of been on like the Brock, tracker for the last couple weeks because so much has happened to him outside of WWE. So, like we mentioned last week, he got busted for violating, the failing drug tests and stuff. Word came down today. He's going to see zero penalty from the UFC or WWE. Guys, your thoughts. Harmon, what do you think about this?
He's not seeing any penalty from the UFC either?
Nope, nothing. Zero.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nothing. You know nothing.
I don't know. Just do whatever you want, I guess. If you make big money, nothing will happen.
He's Brock Lesnar, baby. He can do what he wants. Greg.
His last name's not Clinton. What the fuck?
Oh.
I don't know. The UFC's kind of, they kind of do whatever they want, I feel like. So I'm not really surprised that nothing's going to happen to him. If anything should happen to him, it should be in UFC. I don't know. It's really it's you kind of you kind of don't feel bad because it's Roman Reigns, but you kind of do have to feel bad because he just did a 30-day suspension. He lost his title. He lost his spot, and now you got Brock Lesnar. I don't think they've really said what he got busted for. I think Roman Reigns got busted for Adderall, if I read that correctly. I mean, that's alleged, I guess. But
Yeah, and then Roman got his balls broke on live TV.
Oh man.
so I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
kind of
what
with you guys, man. I'm in the same boat. I think UFC does what they want. They kind of pick and choose. Their cash cows are their cash cows, and they keep them close to the vest, and whatever happens happens. So, not a whole lot of penalties are getting served down there. And it's weird. I mean, Brock kind of has this cloak on him where he can kind of do whatever he wants because he's Brock Lesnar, because he's such a huge draw. So, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. Maybe things will change, but I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, epic news. ZZ from Tough Enough has been released officially. I know you guys are heartbroken, but that just broke earlier today. Yeah, I don't know. I never saw what they saw in him, I guess. But
I didn't understand why they brought him back. Like, he lost. The only reason he almost won Tough Enough is because it was a fan vote, and he was just, even if you watch Breaking Ground, which is kind of funny because I just recently started watching, he just wasn't into it. You know what I mean? He seemed like he wanted, he said all the right things, like, I want to be here, I want to work hard, but he just joked around, and he didn't seem like he was working as hard as he could. So it's not really shocking. Could you see him in a ring as like a football wrestler?
No, I mean, that's the thing. I just don't think he would ever been like a good draw at all. I mean, not like everybody has to be a good draw, but you got to be watchable. And he didn't even look like he was even close to being even ready to be at the performance center. You know what I mean? They have actual athletes there, and he just didn't really seem like an athlete. He just seemed like I don't know, like kind of like a throwback to like the old Carney days, where it's like, oh, you kind of have like something unique about you, we'll throw you in there. But I don't know. Harmon, you watched a lot of Tough Enough. What were your thoughts on the ZZ?
Yeah, Tough Enough. He never did the cardio. He was lazy. I mean, he's young too. He was only like 19, 20 years old, but and that was always his excuse. I'm 19. I just got here. This is the first time I've ever been on my own. I'm just a dumb Southerner who likes gators.
That's a pretty good ZZ impression.
That was ZZ mixed with the Water Boy.
Well, I think he
Gatorade. Yeah. Oh man. All right.
Hit.
Yeah, the Water Boy could hit for sure. All right. Big news in some returning stars. We saw a Shelton Benjamin promo on SmackDown. Shelton's coming back. Holy moly. Big fan of Shelton Benjamin.
Even at 41 years old, he's probably still top 10 most athletic guy in the company.
Well, I mean, he's better than ZZ, so.
Easily.
Yeah. No, man, I'm excited for his return. I think he's going to be great. Also, Kurt Hawkins, I guess, is signed, and Jinder Mahal as well. So those guys are going to be coming back sometime soon, so that'll be great. Your thoughts on these three guys? Greg, what do you think?
I'm always excited when guys come back, even if they weren't huge before, like Kurt Hawkins and Jinder Mahal. Nothing big out of them, so I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do with them, going forward. I was thinking like Kurt Hawkins' role was like could be like Zack Ryder has a new partner. I understand that Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins haven't tagged together in like 10 years, but
right.
They could have some sort of thing with that. And as far as Shelton Benjamin goes, I always thought that when he was here, like he could have risen to that next level. So maybe that's what they're looking at for him, which would be pretty cool. He most likely will stay mid card, but so it's something that something to think about. You know, he left the company. He could be coming back. So, well, we know he's coming back, but he could be coming back in like a bigger role than when he left. So,
And you got to
Yeah.
remember, guys that come back too, they always kind of ride that cushion for a little while too. That everybody's happy to have him back, and it kind of gives him an artificial bump too, you know. So
Yeah.
problem with that is though sometimes those guys stay on that cushion, and that becomes an issue. Like I always felt like RVD's last couple of runs, like RVD just his thing was like, oh, RVD's back, and then it was just kind of like bland, which was not great because I always loved RVD, so it's kind of a bummer to me. His
Yeah.
last runs.
No, yeah, and I agree. I see what you mean with that. I mean, he was putting a lot of guys over. He was going down like I know he even went down like in NXT and like, you know, I know he fought like Neville once and like it's just that weird role. And I don't think that he was, you know, poised to like have another run of the championship or something. But I think Shelton could do that. He could come back and you know, especially on SmackDown where they're a little thin, he could come back and be at that next level. The only problem I've ever had with Shelton is that I just don't think he's great on the mic. I always thought that it was a little scary on the mic. The guy is super athletic. I mean, we've all seen the highlights of, you know, ladder matches and stuff. He's always really innovative and stuff and using the ladder to his advantage and stuff. But the mic always scares me with him. So hopefully, if he's upped his mic chops, you know, he can come back.
More of a, like he'd be considered a veteran now, so maybe he's comfortable enough to where he'd be like, you know, I've been doing this a long time and I'm comfortable talking in front of people. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be excited to see like him and AJ go at it. You know, that'd be a good matchup. That's the first one I thought of immediately. Anyway, Harmon, any more thoughts on this?
no, I'm good. I'm hoping Shelton Benjamin does something with American Alpha.
That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. I like that. Yeah, definitely. Oh boy, so that's kind of it for recent news. Nothing too crazy standing out. Let's get right into you know, covering this wacky week that we've gotten.
Much wrestling.
So much wrestling. It's been our first week here of, you know, well, I mean, we threw in the pay-per-view too. So you got like Battleground Sunday, Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday, NXT and Cruiserweight Classic on Wednesday.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on that yet. I just needed a break for a minute.
I know. I haven't watched any Wednesday programming yet.
I have not either. I was exhausted after Tuesday. I was like,
Right.
just from staying up watching wrestling and just from how like awesome it had been for the last like 3 nights.
Oh, on Tuesday night though, I was so happy when I looked at the clock and saw it was 9:30. I'm like, oh, only half an hour till I get to go to bed.
Nice. That's funny. Yeah. The 2-hour SmackDown is nice. It's a nice treat. You don't have to stick around for that extra hour.
Yeah, because like during Raw, like I mean, this week was the anomaly, but usually it's like, you know, halfway into that second hour, I'm like, oh my god, I still have an hour and a half of this shit to watch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's start out with Battleground. Some things that happened on Battleground. I thought Battleground was great. I mean, maybe not great, but it was pretty damn good. I thought some things happened that were pretty awesome. So where do you guys want to start here? You guys want to start with Bayley?
Yep.
Bayley. Bayley is the surprise partner for Sasha Banks. I think some of us predicted it. Some of us did not. Harmon. But
I can hear you patting yourself on the back from here.
I mean, I thought it was you know, very predictable. She doesn't get drafted, which is insane. And then there just happens to be a mystery partner for Sasha Banks, who's Bayley is super close with. Of course, it's gonna be Bayley. Silly boy. So Bayley is the partner. Bayley and Sasha end up winning. Bayley has a pretty good performance in that match. I know she's going back down to, you know, to face Asuka, but I mean, I'm assuming she's SmackDown main roster for good after the Asuka match. So
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I hope she goes to Raw.
you think she goes to? Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Raw, 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 raw. I sound like Lady Gaga over here.
SmackDown probably needs her more than Raw does.
Yeah, but I think Harmon's right though. I mean, if she was in the Sasha match, I'm sure she's going to Raw. But maybe I don't know. Maybe it's up in the air still. I have no idea. But I agree. I think SmackDown probably needs her more. SmackDown's a little light. So Owens and Zayn, they pretty much tore the house down. What do you guys think about that? Any highlights there?
That match was a solid 9 could be 10 out of 10. That was just, God, it was amazing. It was so much fun to watch. It's one of those matches where you're like, if I had to take a non-wrestling fan and show them why I watch wrestling, that would be a match I'd show them. It was awesome.
Yeah, totally. I love the way it ended. I thought it was great, man. They laid it all out there. Sammy's like botch, I thought was okay. He recovered very, very fine.
It even looked like it was part of the match because and that's just probably just the way they are. They can make things look awesome, but Owens instantly started working that shoulder, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh, I'll give that a pass because like neither of them looked confused. Like Sammy was just like favoring the shoulder the whole time, and then like you said, KO was like working the shoulder. So it's just like these guys are so in tune. They fought each other so many times. They've just been in the ring so many times together that they can just go on the fly, and they're just both so fucking good.
Yeah, they share the same wrestling brain. So
yeah.
When they get in the ring together, it's like Tom Brady and Deion Branch. Don't even have to say anything. He's got to run the route he wants him to.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know exactly. That's a great reference. Love it. For all you New Englanders out there, you guys are going to know that too. For all you non-New Englanders out there, all you Denver Broncos fans like Josh.
Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson?
Nothing like those guys.
Nothing like those guys.
No.
I was just trying to make it more non-local.
No, that's fine. We're going to keep it local here when we're referencing football. I mean, unless we're talking, deflating balls. If we're going to bring up Aaron Rodgers, he likes to overinflate balls. But, hey, that's another podcast for a whole nother day. Still bitter.
I think Kirk Minahan does that podcast. So
yes, nice. Anyway, yeah, man. Owen Zayn tore it down. Harmon, your boy lost. I'm sorry.
I know, but I like the way Zayn finished it off. It wasn't just enough for one kick. He had to do it twice. Really put the nail in that coffin.
Yeah, and I liked how he looked. Zayn kind of like picked him up a little bit and looked a little bit like, I hate to do this, but kind of this needs to be done, and like hit him again.
It gave me a little bit of hope for a minute, like he was gonna like not do it. I was like, oh, he's gonna help him out. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna talk to him. Nope, another boot in the face.
Yeah. But I think it might be over for now. Hopefully, they kind of keep them apart, even though they're on the same show. They're gonna keep them apart, hopefully, and then they can just rekindle that later down the road. But it'll be tough because they've built up the hatred for each other so much. So we'll see what happens. What else? Oh my God! How about a crazy live in-ring promo from Enzo? My goodness, was that thing amazing or what? I've watched it like 3 times now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's just I don't even know what to say. Like it was funny. It was topical. It was, in the face of John Cena a little bit. It was, Cena was loving it. You know what bugs me about Cena teaming with those guys, though, is that Cena seems like, he's never been, I don't think more exposed as, like, a wannabe, like, G, like, compared to, like, Enzo. You know what I mean? He was just like...
He was very fun, Dad.
Yes, he was very fun, Dad. He was very, like, clapping, going like, Me? Mount Rushmore? Me? It's like, fuck off, Cena. You know exactly, like, you're on Mount Rushmore. Chill out. Like, don't play like that fake modesty here. Give it a break.
Well, the other thing is, too, I feel like Cena's really uncomfortable about not being like the talker in the ring. So I almost feel like he doesn't really know what to do when Enzo is out there and is tearing the house down, because I mean, the only reason we think that John Cena is this great presence on the mic is that he hasn't really been challenged in however long he's been there. Enzo is better on the mic than John Cena, and he just doesn't. I don't think it sits well with him. So he reacts very strangely. It's very unsettling to watch John Cena in the ring with Enzo.
Yeah, and then he like goes over and like raises his hand like mid. I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. I don't know why. I mean, that's a nice thing to do, like raise Enzo's hand and point and stuff and be like, this guy's the man. Like that's a nice thing to do. But I don't know. I saw it and I was like, John Cena, just get the fuck out of there. Like stop it. Like you don't need to be in the spotlight. So
when Enzo's on the mic and Cena has to just sit there and listen, he's like Ricky Bobby on camera for the first time. He like doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, at your sides. Just put them at your
some great
sides.
movie references so far.
Yeah. This is full of movie references. Let's keep going with that theme tonight. Pretty good. Oh boy. So anyway, I thought that match was pretty good. Nothing to like really write home about, but I mean the promo just shined. I mean, and even Cass. I loved Cass's like his whole like soccer mom haircut thing got the crowd going. They were even chanting it at one point to AJ. I mean, that's pretty great, man. Cass has come a long way on the mic. And just their shtick together is funny. Like after every like joke that Enzo would make, Cass comes up with like the "How you doing?" Like it's just it's like the proverbial like kind of whatever. What's the drum thing called? Like when it's like bump shh. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank.
Shot.
Yeah, rim shot. Yeah, rim shot. That's what it is, kind of. But anyway, that was a great segment, I thought.
Bump.
Bump. Dean Ambrose retains his championship. Who saw that coming? Anybody? Anybody?
I don't know. I kind of thought it was going to happen. I wasn't understanding why everyone was so sure he was going to drop it. I guess because they expected the WWE title to go to Raw, but on when the original brand split happened, that's exactly what happened. The WWE title stayed on SmackDown, and they brought in the heavyweight title for Raw. So I don't know. I didn't see them having Ambrose drop it right away like that.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. I really wanted Ambrose to retain it. I thought SmackDown needed something to go their way, just because Raw, they have a lot. Well, we discussed the draft last episode of the podcast, but like we kind of decided that they didn't like really mop up, but they just, they just have more people and more things going on. The cruiserweights, they got the cruiserweights. They got Finn Balor, like they got all this like really cool stuff to look forward to. It's like if Rollins or Reigns like took the heavyweight championship to Raw, it's like, oh god, it's like, it's like a kick in the nuts to SmackDown. Like there's just nothing left almost. So I kind of thought that they were going to let Dean retain, and then and then do something with Raw, like maybe create a new title or something, which we learn later happens, but not too thrilled about that. But anyway, I liked this match. I thought this match was pretty good, and I like how it ended. I like how Dean pinned Roman, which I think we all predicted that Roman was going to take the fall on this. What are you guys' thoughts on the match itself? Greg, we'll start with you.
Well, I thought that this is one of those matches where like the video package is so good that like the match has to be at least decent. Like
yeah.
The story and the build up I thought was really good. So I really liked the way these three guys. Of course, they know each other really well, so it really went. I thought it was a great match. A lot of good moves, a lot of good use of like the triple threat, kind of how they were all involved, and I thought the ending was great. And I was pretty happy that Dean walked away with a win. I thought it was a decent match.
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring up the video package because I really liked the video package. I even like downloaded that song like that it was used for. I was like, that's great. Everything just fit perfectly. Harmon, your thoughts?
I don't remember this. I was outside for most of this, so I was
very nice.
I was trying to watch it like on my phone.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, and plus it was only like a couple days ago, but it feels like forever ago because of everything that's happened up until now. So, but in case you didn't know, Harmon, Dean Ambrose retained.
No, I knew that much. I knew Roman ate the pin, but I don't remember anything from the match. It was a blur.
No problem. Anything else happening on Battleground that you guys want to bring up? That's all I have. Anything else?
I thought the Becky Lynch and Natalya match was awfully short.
It was short, and I predicted that to possibly be match of the night if they really turned it on, and the complete opposite happened. I didn't think
they gave it like 4 minutes.
Yeah, and Natalya went over too. I thought that was strange. Like Becky just getting no love lately. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's just a weird one. I don't know. Can't really explain it.
Their angle felt really forced. So,
I don't know, man. Yeah, I
think
liked
Natalya
it.
as a heel feels really forced.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't hate this feud or this angle as much, but I just thought it was like, it was okay. It just didn't pan out. Like I thought it would be better, and it's just not really panning out at all.
I feel like one of the problems that plagues the women's division is that their heel and face is so fluid. Like it's just so, it happens so much and so often, and sometimes for no reason that you're just like, who? Sometimes you get confused about who's actually heel and who's actually face, because
it's like they're all tiny big shows.
Yeah. Well, and plus you don't even see them all like hardly ever. So it's like, I can't even remember until SmackDown this past Tuesday. Like I couldn't remember the last time I saw Naomi. I was like, geez, I don't even know what she's doing. Like I don't know where
she was a heel probably the last time you saw her, but she showed up that night as kind of a babyface. So
yeah, so I don't know. It's just weird. It's hard. I think Harmon, you've said it before. It's like if you're not in the title picture, then like you're not in the picture at all. Like, and that's really shitty, man. Like these girls, you should get something. And I like that Natalya and Becky kind of had like just a grudge match, and that was really cool because that was
that's like the first women's match that did involve a title in forever.
Yeah. So they
usually, if you're not going for the title, you're in catering eating donuts or something.
Well, I doubt they're eating donuts, but they're eating salads. They're drinking protein shakes. But I don't know, man. I'm interested to see where the divas. I just call it divas. Jesus Christ, force of habit. The women's.
What's wrong with you?
I know the women's division here and SmackDown, because they've got a lot of gals, so they got to figure something out. The only problem is like they don't have a title to like fight for, because the title's on Raw. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. So
they've got to introduce one. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
they have to, right? They have to.
Just don't bring back that butterfly belt.
Oh God, can you imagine? They'd never be turned on so much.
It's going to be the WWE Universal Women's Championship.
Oh, God. Well, with that, let's get right into Raw. They announced that they're going to do 2 Fatal 4-Ways, and then the winner of those 2 Fatal 4-Ways are going to fight each other at the end of the night, and then the winner of that is going to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam to crown a new champion for the very new championship on Raw, and it's called something silly like the WWE Universal Championship or something. I personally hate it. I don't think anybody's, at least I haven't seen pictures of the belt or anything. I've seen some rumored pictures, and it actually looks kind of cool, but I don't know if that was legit or not. So
same here. The one I saw was like, it looked like the old winged eagle.
Yeah, that's the one I saw too. So I don't know if that's just somebody blowing smoke or what. If that'd be cool if it looked like that, but I'm still not thrilled about Raw having like their own title. I guess I don't know. It seemed so. It seems like it made Battleground just pointless. You know, it's like that triple threat match for the title. It's like, oh well, fuck it. If you lose, we'll just make up another title. Doesn't matter. I don't know. It just didn't sit well.
It was very. What's bigger than the world?
Yeah, get the thesaurus. Yeah, I don't know, man. But anyway, Finn Balor makes his debut. He's involved in the first Fatal 4-Way, wins it, then goes on to fight Roman Reigns at the end of the night, who won his Fatal 4-Way. And the dude straight up beats Roman Reigns clean. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it was nuts.
It was one of the greatest moments on WWE Raw in the like past 10 years.
Yeah, because you just don't see that. Like you see like a guy debut, have a good showing, but he's not gonna beat Roman Reigns clean.
You go through so many emotions. Like Finn Balor wins that first Fatal 4-Way, and you're like, oh man, that's really cool. That's really cool. I wonder who he's gonna lose to. And then,
right.
and then you're Roman Reigns in the second one. You're like, oh man, I really hope Roman Reigns doesn't win, but he probably will. And then he does win, and you're like, well, it's really cool that Finn Balor's in the main event, but he's gonna lose to Roman Reigns. And then he wins, and it's just like my whole world went upside down because you just go through, like, I feel like the past however long as a wrestling fan, you just go through what's going to happen, and you know what's going to happen, and nobody saw Finn Balor coming out as #1 contender.
I kept thinking either AJ was going to win that match or John Cena was going to win that match, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. Or maybe Jericho was going to get that push, in that second Fatal 4-Way match, and then Roman won, and I'm like, oh, they're going back to Roman, and then Finn won, and I was like, I don't know what to think now. It's Bizarro world. Everything's going right.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I love when I'm surprised in WWE, which rarely happens, but that was a great moment. I thought Finn looked great. A lot of people are like, oh, he looks so small, and he does. I mean, he is. He's small, but the guy can work, and his character's cool, and the fucking fans go nutty over him. So
that doesn't matter anymore. Size of the wrestler doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
nope.
I remember AJ Styles when he first showed up here. I kept thinking, Jesus, he's small, but it does not matter.
No, I mean, and again, it's funny that the similarities, like AJ in that Royal Rumble got pitted right up against Roman Reigns, and Roman is just a huge dude, and then he has a good feud with Roman. So the size thing is definitely out the window, and then Finn comes in and it's kind of the same situation, gets pitted right up against, Roman Reigns, and Roman's a huge guy, so he's gonna look small. But I thought he looked.
Everybody's not as big as Roman and Cena and the Wyatt family, I mean, remember the first time Kevin Owens got in the ring with Randy Orton? I was like, Jesus Christ, Randy Orton's huge.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm pumped about that match. I mean, I would have never, if somebody would have told me, hey, you know what the main event at SummerSlam is going to be? It's going to be Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. I would have been like, get out of here. That doesn't make any.
Oh, you'd be like, yeah, in my dreams.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah, what are you doing? Some fantasy booking now? That's out of control. That's not going to happen. WWE will never do that. And then they did, and it's amazing, and I cannot wait for SummerSlam. I was mainly looking forward to SummerSlam for the sole purpose of just hanging out with you guys. That was about it. Like, I was like, Brock, Randy is going to be cool, but I don't know, we'll see. I just want to hang out with you guys and eat really terrible food and watch SummerSlam. But, on top of that goodness, we're going to see friggin' Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Nutty. Just crazy. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, are we going to the same place we went last year?
I think so. And if he doesn't know it yet, we're going to go do it anyway. Big shout out to Dustin Sun, who hosted SummerSlam last year in his
awesome
in his garage on like an 8-foot screen, so hopefully that happens again. So
God, yes.
I know, it was amazing. So that happened on Raw. Jeez, I mean that itself would have been awesome. But there was a few other things that happened on SmackDown that was so cool. Sasha Banks, guys, she is your new women's champion.
Yeah, it brought a tear to my eye. I was so happy.
I know, right? So cool.
An amazing moment. Another one that I didn't see coming. It was just like, she did the Eddie Guerrero thing to Dana Brooke, which was just brilliant and just really cool to see. And then you just thought something else was going to happen, some kind of run-in or some kind of DQ or anything like that. And that's how our mind has been programmed. It's almost like they said going into Monday night, they were like, let's think about how we've programmed the minds of our fans over the past 10 years, and we need to do the opposite of what they think is going to happen.
That's what the past 10 years, they've told us we can't have what we want. And Monday Night Raw was everything that we wanted.
Yeah,
we finally got the carrot, at the end of the stick and the string. It's like we've been chasing that thing forever, and we got it. Now I don't know what to do with it now that I have it. I'm like a dog chasing cars,
Right. Well, going back to my point earlier too about like never being surprised, it's like that's the thing. It's like we kind of all saw this match. We're like, okay, there's something's gonna happen because they got to get to SummerSlam. Like this is probably gonna be the match at SummerSlam. Sasha Banks is gonna win the title at SummerSlam. So they have to have basically like 4 weeks of minutia to just get there. So tonight,
4
it's going
weeks
to
of 50-50 booking. And
right, like tonight it's going to be a DQ. Next week they're going to be in a tag match against each other. And then like, something else. And then SummerSlam where Sasha will win. And then like out of nowhere, they just blindside you. And they go, oh no, we're going to do that match tonight for the title and Sasha's going to take it. And you just go, what? Did I just see that? What? I gotta rewind that. I gotta rewind that because I was kind of on my phone. Like what did that just really happen? Like that's nuts.
Yeah, I thought I already knew the ending of this match.
Yeah, so I love that WWE as a whole because like some stuff like that kind of happened on SmackDown as well. So it's not just Raw, but Raw was very much like that, and I like that they're finding that happy medium of like it's surprising, but it still kind of makes sense because. Dude, WCW used to keep me on the edge all the time. I never knew what the hell happened because they didn't know what was going to happen. But it was just shit, like they would change the title every week. At least this makes sense. What WWE is doing now, they're just like surprising you with people that you like, like Finn Balor. Like everybody goes crazy for Finn Balor. So yeah, let's push them. Let's give them what they want. Let's put them in the main event at SummerSlam. As wacky as that sounds, let's do it. And they did, and it's incredible. So, oh man, anything else on Raw?
Yeah, dig Braun Strowman's new haircut.
Do you? Oh man, it's so weird.
Why?
So tiny.
What was up with that guy that he destroyed?
I don't know.
That guy.
That poor son bitch.
The local talent. Oh, that guy.
I got a puncher's chance.
Who was that guy though?
I
Like
don't know.
that guy looked like he definitely didn't look like a pro wrestler. Like they couldn't find
No, I think
anybody.
he was like a substitute history teacher.
Yeah. They couldn't find anybody that had any kind of build to like even make it look believable. Like they didn't just like go like, hey, who do you get that's like a good wrestler around here? And like that's what they gave him. Like the local promotion gave WWE that guy. I don't know.
They probably pulled that guy out of line because he was wearing like pads. They were like, oh my god, you have pads.
Pads? What?
Are you wearing knee pads? Come here, you're gonna be part of the show.
Yeah, you brought your own gear? Perfect. Let's do this.
I told you,
man.
wrestling boots? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically Braun destroyed that dude, and then
That
Nia.
reverse chokeslam looks pretty nasty.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. I mean, he's gonna be able to do that to like smaller dudes like that, but man, like I don't see him like doing that to like. I mean, I know he's huge, and they probably will, but I don't know. I don't see him like doing that as like a big finisher. I think he'll have a bunch of squash matches first, similar to like Nia. That was on SmackDown. I mean, Raw, right? Nia's squash.
I think it's cool that jobbers are back.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, God, it's like it reminds me of the '90s again. It's fantastic.
Well, I was listening to another podcast today, and they said that's how you get around 50-50 booking. You know, you have them beat up local enhancement talent, and you don't have to have them wrestle the same person, 4 times in a row before a pay-per-view.
Yeah, because that gets super old. Like that's why I've kind of fallen off with Ziggler, just because.
Yeah, he wrestles the same guy 25 times.
Yeah. Oh, you're in a feud with Rusev? Yeah, we're gonna do that for 6 months. Oh, but you like Baron Corbin? You're involved in a feud with Baron Corbin? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make that 4 months. Yeah. It's just terrible. So, and that's another thing too. Like you never see any like faces beating up enhancement talent anymore either. It's always like bad guys just completely squashing. The small enhancement talent, like local guy. So, yeah, I mean, some brutal.
See, Johnny, there's always a chance you're gonna get in that ring. Always.
Oh man,
just get your gear, go to the show.
Dude, I look so tiny compared to those guys. I mean, I look tiny anyway, just in normal life. These guys are gigantic, but actually, I don't know. You're fit for the ring, man. You could compete with Strowman. Strowman's not that much bigger than you, is he?
Yeah, but they can't have a guy my size go in there and get beat up like enhancement talent.
It would make him look strong. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I'll get my tugboat out of the closet.
Tugboat, yeah. Get your stripes. Get your hat. Oh, man. All right. Let's move on to SmackDown. Speaking of looks, I dig Bray's new look. What do you guys think of Bray's new look? Kind of like he's got like a weird like hybrid biker thing going on. Anybody?
I think overall Bray looks great. He's in great shape too.
Yeah.
I like the new look.
Yeah, he's wearing very tight pants.
Yes. Nice. He
always wore those like kind of like looser, like white pants. The white pants he had on at Battleground were extremely tight.
I'm glad that you were really checking out those pants, man.
I just see tight pants and I think, how do people move?
Yeah. I don't know. Bray looks great though. He had a pretty good performance in the 6-pack challenge. So here's the deal on SmackDown. They had a battle royal. Well, first of all, they named 5 of the 6 participants in this like 6-pack challenge. The winner of this 6-pack challenge will go on to face Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Championship, whatever that's called now, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So in order to find the 6th participant, they did a battle royal, and Apollo Crews won. So Apollo was in the 6-pack challenge. To which another surprise victory here. I did not see this coming at all either. Dolph Ziggler walks away with the win in the 6-pack challenge. So it's going to be Ziggs versus Dean Ambrose in the co-main event at SummerSlam. That's insane. Ziggler.
Earlier, you guys let me totally screw up my fatal 4-way thing. I said John Cena, AJ Styles, and you guys were like, "Yep." That was definitely the wrong show.
Was it?
I was just trying to gloss over it.
Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't listening. I was falling asleep. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my line.
Yeah, that's your excuse. No. Well, it's hard, man. Now it's like it's separate shows. Like we're so used to all these guys being crammed into one show, and now we're gonna have to remember like who's on what show now. So especially with like all this wrestling, like we said, it's like you have a pay-per-view, you have Raw, you have SmackDown, you have NXT, you have all this stuff to keep track of. It's just crazy now. But anyway, yeah. So Ziggler, guys, come on. He's finally getting this resurgence. Maybe he's getting this push.
You know what? I wasn't mad about it.
No, I love it.
I have some thoughts on Dolph Ziggler winning.
Okay.
Okay, bring them. This is the place.
You've got fans, internet fans our age. how long have we been wanting someone like Dolph Ziggler to win big, go on to a big main event, and then literally we get this week of wrestling where Battleground is good. It's not the best pay-per-view I've ever seen, but it's got decent wrestling, it's got good matches, and you enjoyed it almost because you're looking forward to this new kind of turnaround, this new kind of era. And then you get to Monday Night Raw, which is one of the best Monday Night Raws they've had in forever. And as a fan, you're like, they're finally listening to us. They're finally giving us what they want. And then SmackDown, wrestling fans are already doing what they do wrong all the time. I go on to Twitter, which is not, I guess, not the best place to go and look for opinions and stuff like that all the time, but I go on Twitter the next day and I'm reading articles, I'm reading tweets like, oh, I don't know if Dolph Ziggler's ready. I don't know if Dolph Ziggler. I'm tired of Dolph Ziggler, and it's like you guys are already ruining this.
Yeah.
You are doing exactly what they think that you're going to do once they give you what you want. You're gonna go back on. You're gonna turn on what you want a day after they start giving it to you, and you are ruining wrestling already. After they have started listening to us, you are already ruining it, doing what they thought you were going to do, and just stop it. If you can hear my voice, stop it.
Watching wrestling as a mark is way better than watching it as a smark. When I watch wrestling with a critical, glass half empty kind of smarky eye, I have just depressing nights after that. But if I can suspend belief and watch it like I did when I was 10, I have a great time every single time, no matter what happens. So I'm trying to watch it more as a child now instead of as a grumpy 34-year-old.
Yeah. No, and I'm the same way, man. I like getting really excited for things, and anytime you kind of see like that smarkiness or that smarky like mentality, it's always negative. It's always like, oh, I don't know if Dolph Ziggler's ready. Oh, that ship has sailed. It's like, no, it hasn't. This is the guy who we were all ecstatic about when he was the sole survivor at Survivor Series a couple years back, and we're all saying like, this is the Dolph Ziggler push. Finally, he's gonna get back in the world title contention, and he's gonna go on to bigger and better things. And then he didn't, and we were all super bummed. So why aren't we excited now that he's going to be co-main eventing SummerSlam? Usually they just tuck him away in like the opener or like a ladder match or something because he's a good hand.
Or the pre-show.
Or the pre-show, And Dolph Ziggler is co-main eventing SummerSlam, guys. I love it.
It's even on Battleground.
I know.
Dolph Ziggler is wrestling for the WWE title at one of the major 4 pay-per-views. And I gotta listen and read a bunch of dicks have a problem with it. And it's just like... I mean, I don't know. This is what we get what we want, and we're still not happy, and that's why I don't know. Wrestling fans as a whole, sometimes they disappoint me so much.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to include us, but I kind of have to include us. But like, we are just the worst. Like, we're the worst kind of fans. I said it at WrestleMania, Greg, when I was at your house watching it, when. I think it was like during the segment where like Stone Cold came out and like HBK and Mick Foley. After all that, I caught myself because I was saying like, oh man, Angle, come on, bring Angle out here. And then I stopped and I was like, God, we're just the worst because like we have 3 friggin' legends in the ring here that are doing an awesome performance, doing an appearance. That should be good enough, and it's never good enough sometimes.
We're never happy.
Yeah, I'm just always like, oh, Kurt Angle, gotta bring back Kurt Angle. But I don't know, this time around, I was stoked to see Dolph get the win and move on. I'm I can't even express it enough. I've been a big Dolph fan.
I was worried we were going to get that with Sasha Banks. I thought people were going to be like, yeah, they give it to her now, but what are they going to do at SummerSlam?
Yeah, Charlotte's just going to take it back at SummerSlam.
Oh, they should have waited till SummerSlam, so it felt really special.
Well, I mean,
felt
that
super
definitely.
special.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I definitely saw that too. It's like, oh, they wasted it on Raw. No, they didn't waste anything. Like, I judge a performance or like anything is by the pop. If the crowd just goes bananas, dude, it's a good segment. If I jump out of my seat at home, that's it, man. Like, that's what's good. Like, you have all these smarky dudes like, oh, well, it would have sold SummerSlam. Like, I don't know. It fucking sold Raw, too, and it made me go bananas for it on Raw. Like, I didn't see Sasha winning that on Raw. So, I don't know, man. These fans will never be happy. It's disappointing. I agree with you, Greg. It is disappointing sometimes. So, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow.
I've been having a really hard time not doing the thing that I really don't want to do, which is get in a fight on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like wrestling accounts, but I feel like I'm headed that. There's no way I'm not going to by the time SummerSlam hits. Like, I'm just friggin' get into an argument with this guy from Leeds for no reason because I want Dolph Ziggler in the main event, and he's like, well, I don't know, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Oh no, AJ Styles should be there.
I should have been Cruz if they really wanted to shake things up.
Yeah. They should have brought up Nakamura and had him headline SummerSlam.
Nobody can beat Nakamura.
That's another angle, man. And this is like another. We could go on for days on that whole thing. It's like, guys, there's gotta be some kind of tier system, or there's gotta be some kind of burn. Like, you can't just. I get why they didn't bring up Nakamura. Like, everybody's like, when they did the draft, people were saying like, so you're telling me Mojo Rawley's better than Shinsuke Nakamura? It's like, well, no, you gotta look at it through like a business standpoint. They can't just gut NXT, and like, you can't bring up Finn Balor and Nakamura and all these people. Like, you can't just like blow your wad in one shot. Like, it's gotta be progressive. It's gotta be, planned. It's like, give it a break, guys. We all love Nakamura, but you gotta wait, man.
Yeah,
just chill out.
NXT isn't the New York Yankees. They're not gonna just blow that crap up because they suck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Trade them all to Chicago.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Other things that happened on SmackDown that I liked. I liked Heath Slater's his promo. I thought it was great. That's a guy, man, who's I've always liked him on the mic. I thought he was great.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought that was pretty good.
I think 2 or 3 more weeks of that crap, and he'll be the hottest guy in the company.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that, like, they should have given Damian Sandow, Like, they rarely did that. Like, Sandow had to go to Twitter and kind of...
like the whole rogue agent angle,
Yeah. And, like, kind of expresses, like, bitterness. But I love it. And I'm not super pumped about Rhino coming back. Rhino has never been, like, I don't know. I like Rhino, but, I think he's, obviously well past his prime, and I see him as depth right now.
I think he's depth, and I think he's just there to elevate some younger talent. I think he's just going to be mid-card, elevating mid-card talent. I think that's really his only purpose right now. But I've always liked Rhino. I thought he's pretty solid, and his arms make me uncomfortable.
His little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, he just has a weird shaped body.
I know.
Nowadays, like, back in his prime, he was like solid and pretty like ripped and like, but now he just is like mass. Yeah. He's just like a figure, like a weird shape that I can't really describe very well.
He's like a tree trunk with little T-Rex arms.
Yeah. His gore, I still love his gore though. His gore is way better than like any spear I've ever seen. His gore is amazing. So, I mean, I don't know if that continues with him and Heath, or if that was just like, hey, Rhino's back kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. I hope, like you said, Greg, I hope that kind of lasts a little bit longer with Heath. Maybe a couple more weeks of that would be good. What else? Hey, you know who I really dislike on SmackDown is David Otunga.
And JBL? You can't have JBL and Mauro Ranallo yelling at the same fucking volume.
Ugh, that was tough to deal with too.
I have a really unpopular opinion, probably, but I also have not. I didn't really like Otunga, but it was less of a problem for me. I don't think I like Mauro that much. I think I liked him better before. Maybe it's because he was with JBL, but he does so many things. He does too many things like, oh, like a plate of chicken wings, and it's like, it's too much of that, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a little over the top sometimes.
I guess when he's not doing that, I don't mind him, and I think he's pretty good, but it's too much, like, and I feel like that used to be like JBL's shtick, where he used to be like, well, this is like Freddy versus Jason and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you've got both of them going, it's like, somebody just poisoned the announce team, could you? So.
Yeah, they all three of them do way too many pop culture references.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Mauro, I like Mauro, but he needs a complimentary, host. Because he starts every match at, an 8, and he can only go to a 10. So you have trouble getting that build out of their voice, JR, he used to add the volume and intensity when it meant something.
When it was appropriate.
Always there. Yeah, he's always up to, the top.
Yeah, I like Mauro because I think he calls the action well, and he really emphasizes like the high spots. I see what you mean. It's a little over the top sometimes. It's like, okay, it was a clothesline and it looked really good, but you don't need to like dive out of your chair because of that. Like, it didn't really have anything. It didn't like change the match. Just relax a little bit. Save that for the finish.
I don't even mind that. It's just like when he's like, this is like this is like that.
Yeah, his constant like references are a little out there. Yeah.
Did he? Let me ask you something though. Did he ever send you that autograph?
Have not seen it. No.
Oh, well. Then I was gonna say you're biased if he sent it to you, but
no, full of shit. Never got it, and I even tweeted him about it too.
Oh, I remember because it made me cringe. His response.
Really? You thought his response was like snarky, or you thought me even asking was?
No. I felt his response was like, oh God, because he like, whenever I get a chance, dick.
Yeah, because I felt like a month had passed, and it sounded like he was going to like send them out like immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking to myself like, it's been a month, and so I thought what I wrote was okay. Like, hey man, like,
I didn't think there was anything wrong. He's getting up there annoying on Twitter.
He is getting like annoyed on Twitter a lot lately. His responses to people have been like very dickish lately. I've noticed like a big turn. Like he's been like blocking people left and right. Whereas I never thought he was like that before. I always thought that he was like really like courteous and just like, yeah, thanks. Like he says thanks a lot to people that compliment him. But now he's like, if you dig my whatever, like my team, like you're gonna immediately get blocked. If you compliment me by disrespecting, my co-anchors or whatever, like you're gonna get blocked. And I was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
what a dick.
He's approaching. He's also approaching Hulk Hogan territory on how much he retweets.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he retweets everybody that like compliments him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just constantly retweets and it's just one of those things where it's things that shouldn't bother me, but they do.
Yeah.
It makes me question my own personality sometimes more than the actual other people. But I'm like,
never question your own personality, Greg.
Retweeting so much, I'm done with him.
That damn retweeter. Unbelievable. Anything else happened good on SmackDown? Did you guys can recall?
We got to hear Eva Marie's awesome new voiceover open.
Dude, what is that? That was super awkward.
Ugh. And she
can't
didn't
even
say
talk.
a word. She just walked back and forth the entire time. It was so weird.
Super awkward, man. And that says volumes, man, because it's just like every other woman there, like, had the mic and like had to cut a little short promo. Even like the newbies, like Alexa Bliss came out and she said her piece, and like Carmella did the same thing, and I thought they both excelled. And then you have Eva Marie, who's been there forever, should be able to put two words together, but they didn't. They played it safe with her, like they always do. They had some friggin' Jagov like over the loudspeaker talking bullshit about her, and she just walks back and forth, and it sucked. I thought it sucked. I thought like it was just terrible. Everybody else in that whole segment was really good. Becky went over on Natty, good match, and then you had like basically the introduction of the women's division on SmackDown. What are they fighting for? I don't know, because again they don't have a title. But like a what?
They're fighting for a puppy.
A puppy, yeah. And so it's like, and then you get all I almost said divas again. You get all the women coming out, and they say
was they interrupted each other. Every single person.
Yeah, I thought that was a little
their shtick.
I thought that was a little disrespectful too. But I don't know. I hated how it ended on Eva, and it
ended on Eva, and then you heard nothing about it the rest of the show. That was it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's our women's division. Well, we're not going to do anything with it, but here it is.
Yeah, here, look at it. Look at it. Look at
it. But I mean, like I said, I think it speaks volumes. It's just like Eva Marie cannot do it, man. She looks great. Don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous to look at. She's dynamite. Her Instagram is phenomenal, but she is not
following her on Snapchat. Yeah,
she is not. She is not like a women's wrestler. Like, she should not be on the main roster as a wrestler.
She should just be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness.
Right. She should be a valet, but she doesn't. But she can't really speak, and that's kind of the thing. Like,
right.
She just shouldn't. She should just be a model. Like, just go be a model. Like, you're gorgeous. Just go be a model. Why are you in WWE? You don't wrestle. You can't wrestle. You can't speak. You can't cut a promo. It's just, I don't get it, man. I'm just baffled at why like they constantly have her in the picture somewhere. I just don't get it. But
it's really funny, and if I could, I hate to make a plug for another podcast on your podcast.
No, go for it, man.
But I was listening to Talk is Jericho. And
I hate Talk is Jericho.
But
oh, God. We're going to edit that out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Go for it.
The only reason I was listening because it was Bailey. And it's really hard sometimes to take Jericho interviewing. Like, I don't think that he's good at interviewing sometimes, but I like I said, I listened because it was Bailey. And it's kind of funny because they started talking about Eva Marie, and Bailey's this, and even before I heard the podcast, you could tell she's just like one of the nicest people in wrestling, and she was like so nice about it. But she's like, well, it's really different, like wrestling someone like Sasha, who's like the best ever. I love Sasha. Like, there's no one better than Sasha. And then it's really challenging, like Eva Marie.
I love that.
She's like, and I don't mean that as like an insult. She's like, but it's like she's like, it's like wrestling myself almost. Like, I try to make her better, and it's like okay, we get it.
Yeah, she was just like really reaching for like or something. Yeah, I love that. I love when like wrestlers try to be like really nice with each other, but like they know who's better than who, and just like who's shit and who's awesome. Like,
but they were both talking about it like they both knew that they were terrible. So, but
yeah,
terrible, so.
Yeah, like that's so funny. I have to listen to it. Like, how did that even get brought up?
I actually just listened to that one today too.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, like real quick, one of my favorite kind of instances like that is I saw like this weird like little shoot interview with John Morrison, and they asked him. They were kind of basically doing like word association. And they said they were like John Cena, and he says, "Hardworking," and they go, "Okay," and he goes, "Notice I didn't say talented." It was pretty good. So, that's good. What What else? What else? SmackDown. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it for SmackDown. I thought it was a good show. Obviously, didn't blow the roof off like Raw, but they did their best. I thought it was very good. I think that if Raw didn't happen the night before, we would be like all about SmackDown. We would all be like, "Holy fuck, Dolph Ziggler! Holy shit!" Like, but I think Raw was just so amazing.
SmackDown's got 2/3 of the roster, so we got.
I know. Oh man. When they had everybody like in the ring or like around the ring, I was looking at it going like, man, that's it? Like that's who they have? And then like like the Ascension.
I kept looking at Connor.
I know, that's what I was saying, like the Ascension is like front and center. It's like, oh man, you're featuring just like the Ascension right there, and you see just Gotch in the background. I'm like, oh man, like this is their roster. I love Simon Gotch, but I was just like, man, like there's not a ton of star power.
He got in a fight with Sin Cara, or I read that backstage.
Yeah, did you notice catering and lost handily.
Who did?
Gotch.
Oh really? No kidding.
Yeah. Did you notice he was the first one eliminated from that Battle Royal? And the Vaudevillains, it took forever for them to get drafted on draft night.
Ah, you think a little punishment? Huh.
I think so, but I would have thought it might have been Sin Cara's fault because he's been in like 7 backstage fights. So.
Really? Yeah. Huh. But Sin Cara won the fight, so apparently Gotch gets punished for it.
Yeah. Sin Cara's Spanish for dickhead.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Well, fellas, that's basically our week here, our totally rad week of wrestling, and I think like both of you, I got to catch up on last night's stuff, on Wednesday stuff. So, man,
it's so hard trying to have a life and watch all this wrestling at the same time.
Yeah, wrestling is your life. Get into it. Oh man. Anything else? Anything else you guys wanted to bring up real quick from out of nowhere? We didn't even talk about Randy Orton. How about Randy Orton? How about fun dad joke Randy Orton? Anybody?
Man, you know what? I'm not pumped. He did do finally like the Legend Killer thing on SmackDown. Which
he mentioned it. Yeah, he mentioned it. Yeah.
Mentioned it. So.
Did he? He also mentioned that Maurice might have a penis. So.
He did insinuate that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
He said a lot of jokes that I didn't understand what was happening. And
yeah, like this is PG, Randy. I know you've been out for a while, but it was PG when you left. It's still PG now. Like relax.
Right.
Speaking of PG, have you noticed how many jokes about semen that Kofi Kingston has worked into Monday Night Raw in the past like few weeks?
I have not really noticed it, but I'll have to go back. That's pretty good.
I think that Kofi and Big E try to work in as many sexual innuendos as they can.
Yeah, they're crazy. I think they just get like a free pass. Like they can do whatever they want. Because their segments are just
or Cheerios.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like their segments are just like so high rated. I think that they can just do whatever they want. They probably just gave them the green light. But getting back to Randy a little bit, you know what I didn't like is that he's introduced like this Viperville thing. I don't like that at all. That's so silly. Like he said it at Battleground on Jericho's highlight reel, and he said it again. Like it only takes one RKO to get to Viperville. It's like, ugh. I hate when people reuse lines and they just don't stick at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like that slid right off the wall.
Yeah, like when Miz a couple years ago was introducing like that when he would go, really, yeah. Really, like, and it just sucked. It was just awful to hear.
Or more recently, the Roman Reigns, I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. WWE certainly knows how to beat a dead horse. Okay, so
I'm not a good guy. I'm
Those are very spaced.
Did you see,
I would do it for effect.
Did you see on Twitter WWE creative humor during Raw when Finn says, "I'm Irish, we invented luck," and it says Roman Reigns says, "I'm Samoan and we invented nepotism."
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Uh, but I still am a little excited to see Brock versus Randy. I just wish it was a different Randy. I wish it was like crazy Randy. And this is like, I don't know what this is. This is playing to the crowd, being fun Randy. That's not the kind of Randy that's going to beat Brock Lesnar.
No.
I think this is silly. When he RKO'd Miz though, and then kind of like really took his time, I really liked that. I thought he was getting like crazy, and I thought he was gonna punt kick him, and I was like, this is great. And then he just RKO'd again, and I was like, okay. Well, but I really liked how long that took, because I was like, man, this is classic Randy right here. He's just working slow and letting things settle, and I thought it was great.
Babyface Randy though is just it's a hard sell for me.
Yeah.
It's not his natural persona. His natural persona is being a complete douche
Yeah.
and being just mean, bad Randy. I want bad Randy is what I want.
Yeah, I do too.
I want to see kick you in the head, Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? I did like the Legend Killer thing that he said though, where he like kind of called Lesnar a legend, and then he was like, yeah, you know.
I know, but Legend Killer Randy was a bad Randy.
Yeah, I know. I loved Legend Killer Randy. I mean, and that kind of transitioned into like this crazy Randy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope it develops. I mean, they've got a month to work it in. Maybe he cuts this shtick. Maybe he starts to go crazy a little bit, because that's the only way that I'm gonna give Randy a chance in this match. If Randy goes into SummerSlam like this, I mean, it's a lock that Lesnar wins. I can't imagine Lesnar losing to, you know, my dad at a barbecue. So telling jokes like, hey, come on over here, guys. You know, away from the ladies. We gotta tell a joke here.
I don't know who's the pitcher and who's the catcher.
Oh, yeah. It's like, come on.
That is such a joke that John's dad would tell.
Oh, it is. It is. Good old Jerry. So I think that's the first time I've mentioned my dad on this podcast.
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. But all right. Well, I think that wraps up SmackDown and everything. I can't believe we almost forgot Orton. Huh. Weird. Anyway.
Weird. We almost forgot one of the 3 main events for SmackDown.
Yeah,
for SummerSlam.
Yeah, they're gonna say everything's a main event. Main event. So, anyway, fellas, thanks for joining me. Let's get into some plugs real quick. Again, everybody, you can check us out on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search ISR2M, and you're gonna get us. You can always go to smarkandmark.com. Get us there. Get us straight from the source, right there at the old smarkandmark.com. Mr. Greg Marston, where are you on Twitter, sir?
Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. Just enjoy this time we're in wrestling right now.
Yeah?
You can find me on Twitter at Gregulator85. Come fight with me about why it's good that Dolph Ziggler is #1 contender. Please, I'm begging you, because you're going to ruin everything.
Nice. Challenge accepted, ladies and gentlemen. Go for it. Harmon, where are you on the old Twitter ball?
I am at Harmon316, and I want to see somebody go after Greg, because Greg is going to be like Big E. He is going to be spraying positivity all over the place, you know, from the windows to the wall, just positivity all over the place.
I love it. I hope that's positivity. It doesn't smell like positivity, but interesting. You guys can find me on. What's that?
I said it smells like the ocean.
Oh, interesting. I like the ocean.
We live near the hat you bought, John, back when we played softball.
Oh my God, that's a great story. We'll tell that sometime. That hat was disgusting. Oh man. Anyway, well, we're gonna get out of here before you vomit everywhere. I'm on Twitter at Johnny Fashion. You can check out this podcast on Twitter at ISR2M Podcast. Check out smarkandmark.com. Check out Smark and Mark on Twitter. Mark_PW. Once again, check out Main Event Madness. Check out That Wrestling Crate. All that good stuff. Anything else?
Johnny's YouTube.
Yeah, check out my YouTube, man. I got my unboxings on there. Just unboxed That Wrestling Crate. Again, it's a doozy. Not going to spoil it. You're going to have to go and find it. It's going to be awesome. You'll thank me later. What else? What else? Anything else? Any other plugs, fellas? You guys got anything you got to say before we head out? Negative. All right. So be it.
Be good to each other.
Be good to each other. Positivity. Oh, Harmon. I like how you queued up the Google effects earlier.
You're welcome.
Just for that moment. There it is. There it is. Where was that earlier? Ah, nice. Nicely done, sir. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Later.